faking us, no barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much. Actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be her for your mom to your pop to the beast to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Cotton and Charles Davis.
Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's the scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Like 20. Hey, keep it up. Alert.
Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. The numbers there for Conner in last week's game. 23 carries, 82 yards, and a touchdown.
Has 9 rushing touchdowns on the season, so a lot of credit has to go to the rest of the offense, because you know...
Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention, but sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
A gain of 3, second down. Well, that's something we saw over and over again in Barkley's rookie season. He had 91 catches last year, most ever by a rookie running back. Part of a fantastic rookie campaign that saw him go over 2,000 total yards. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Well, still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be a 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. On second down, Samuels. He's going to be stopped well behind the line of scrimmage, and that's pretty much going to wipe out their gain from first down. That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll be 3rd and 10. On third down, Roethlisberger. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
4th down, here's Roethlisberger. But it's brought in by Washington. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. On 1st and 10 is counter. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him here. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Ready? Black 20. Easy. 45.
2nd and 5 now. Roethlisberger throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. But now it'll be 3rd down. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Vance McDonald. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Well, that drive felt like it took up an eternity. We finally have some action on the scoreboard.
Yeah, but plenty of action prior to, because that drive took up all the first quarter before we spilled into the second, and finally, points were registered.
On the other sideline, they're chomping at the bit just to get the football. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. 13 games going on here in this final Sunday of 2019, the final Sunday of the regular season. 3 more games still to come following us. Raiders, Broncos, Cards, Rams, and Niners, Seahawks. And then we'll know the 12 teams who will continue on into the playoff start. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 9th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
11 yards there, first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and 12, Roethlisberger. He's got this complete to Ryan Switzer. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
30.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. James Washington with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase it.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
Here we go.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Stephon Tuitt came out at Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and just wondered, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. A first down carry for Barkley. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A first down carry for Barkley won't lead to much as he'll take this forward for maybe a yard. It's 2nd down. On 2nd and 9, Mayfield finds Roberts left side. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 26.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They run with Collins, and he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. 3rd and short yardage. Mayfield. He finds Roberts, complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Mayfield looks to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Willie Snead in the final seconds of the first half as his guys have cut the lead down to 2.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something. Now Mayfield lost the football, and it's picked up by the Steelers.
Well, that two-point attempt failed due to the fumble, but people can't see this, but you got a ball in your hands now, and you've got the thing locked in pretty well. You've got it covered up.
I love having a football in the booth. I always hang on to it. It makes me feel like I actually played back in my day.
Well, you probably could have. If you had run that play, you would not have fumbled. I can tell you that.
Maybe. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. 12 yards there and a first down. Mayfield brings him up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Now Saquon Barkley. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield. And he rifles one incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts. 3rd down here.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Flush to his right. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. They'll run on 1st down. Barkley. And he's got this down to the 35. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
On 2nd and 7, Mayfield, and he fires one incomplete. Another incompletion with that one. He's just 7 of 14 throwing the football, 50%. Typically not going to get it done, is it?
And let's just make it simple, and that's exactly why they trail.
Mayfield down. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of 4th down, 1st down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on because 3rd down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
180! Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. There to make the tackle, Steven Nelson. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Mayfield to throw it. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down, and inside the 5-yard line.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. Collins now the lone man in the backfield, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Think about some of the memorable performances that Ben Roethlisberger has had over the years, and one of them came against the Ravens. He threw 6 touchdowns back in 2014 in a win against Baltimore. And actually, now that I think about it, that was on the heels of a 6-touchdown performance in a win over Indianapolis the week prior. So October of 2014 was kind of Big Ben. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Out of his end zone, Mayfield. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. Man open left side is Brown. And some space here. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown. 98 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. And that's the type of play that'll give your sideline some juice, a long touchdown pass.
And it's like a bolt of lightning, isn't it? That suddenness of that play brings everyone to their feet in the stadium, and he takes it all the way to the end zone. Give him credit for making that type of a play call, even more credit for how they executed it.
This fielded, now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. And that's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. To the right side and complete to Washington.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. That one goes for 24 yards. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Roethlisberger throwing complete to McDonald. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. That is 2nd down. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Patrick Owasor gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A. And they'll be down just outside of the end zone at the 1-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Following the interception, Mayfield. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll throw again from their own end zone. And some room to work. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run with Barkley. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Barkley. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Well, the lead late in the 4th, but Mayfield's going to throw it. And now off to the races down the right side. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Here we go. So certainly some importance to this one now. After the touchdown, they could get this down to a field goal with a 2-point conversion. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
And who's got it? I think the Ravens do, yes. And they're going to win this football game. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Again, it's Barkley. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was Baker Mayfield who led the way. The #1 pick in 2018, he showed why he was so coveted.
And it was interesting because you remember headed into the draft in 2000.